nation calling. Seconds and Nevis, we're stumbling, falling. Healthcare breaking, bills keep rising. Leaders playing, not supervising. Water low, lights keep dropping. Victimization, can't stop it. Pop gun, people stressing. Who gon' stand up, who gon' listen? Oh, SOS, save us and kids and Nevis. Oh, yeah, yeah. People's rescue mission, rise up and witness. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. We deserve better, time to fix this. Stand up strong, let the whole world hear this. SOS, SOS, save us and kids and Nevis. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. SOS, save us and kids and Nevis. Agriculture lost, CBI slipping. Everyday folks feel the pressure hitting. Overseas travel, money missing. No respect, no real vision. Oh, this ain't tomorrow, this is now. Time to take our country back somehow. Voices united, hope uplifted. PLP people power mission. Oh, yeah, yeah. SOS, save us and kids and Nevis. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. People rescue mission, rise up and witness. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We deserve better, time to fix this. Stand up strong, let the whole world hear this. SOS, SOS, save us and kids and Nevis. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. SOS, SOS, na 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 na. SOS, hear the nation calling. Skits and Nevis, we stumbling, falling. Healthcare breaking, bills keep rising. Leaders playing, not supervising. Water low, lights keep dropping. Victimization, can't stop it. Pop gun, people stressing. Who gon' stand up, who gon' listen? SOS, save us and kids and Nevis. People's rescue mission, rise up and witness. We deserve better, time to fix this. Stand up strong, let the whole world hear this. SOS, save us and kids and Nevis. Save us and kids and Nevis. Yeah.
Agriculture lost, CBI slipping. Everyday folks feel the pressure hitting. Overseas travel, money missing. No respect, no real vision. This ain't tomorrow, this is now. Time to take our country back somehow. Voices united, hope uplifting. PLP people power mission.
Save us and kids and Nevis. People's rescue mission, rise up and witness. We deserve better, time to fix this. Stand up strong, let the whole world hear this. SOS, save us and kids and Nevis. Save us and kids and Nevis. Yeah. Save us and kids and Nevis. As a young man growing up in McKnight, it was such a lovely place. We respected people. It was pure love and no hate. Anytime you come into McKnight, you're respected and treated right. That's the place I remember. place that we call McKnight. No pow tonight, my Lord. Bless our lovely McKnight. Raise your hand if you agree with me that McKnight was the place to be when we were our brother's keeper in a strong community. Let's put our hands to the plow, make McKnight tops again somehow. Nothing we had down in McKnight.
Good evening. Dr. the Honorable Timothy Sylvester Harris.
Good night, everyone. We will now have the national anthem.
O land of beauty, O country where peace abounds, thy children stand free on the strength of will and love, with God in all our struggles. Saint Kitts and Nevis be our nation bound together with a common destiny. As stalwarts we stand for justice and liberty, with wisdom and truth we will serve and honor thee. No sword nor spear can conquer, for God will sure defend. His blessings shall forever to posterity extend.
Please remain standing while we have the prayer by Dion Gums.
Thank you. Please bow our heads as we reference our Creator. Heavenly Father, God, we give you thanks, we give you praise, we give you glory, God. We ask, God, that you be with us this night, that you fill this room with your presence. Father God, and let us do our business here and give you honor and give you glory. Let us remember, God, that you have given us journey mercies here, God, and let us apply, God, respect, understanding, and discussion and conversation. Let us be frank. Let us be honest. Let us be transparent here this night, mighty God. Father God, we thank you. For those who are on the way here, we ask that you give them journey mercies, God. And God, when all is said and done here, we ask that you take us home safely to our loved ones and relatives. Father God, we ask that you bless this proceedings. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
We will now have the welcome remarks by our National Deputy Chair Lady, Ms. Cheryl Reed.
The Honorable Timothy S. Harris, MP, JP, National Leader of the People's Labour Party, Mr. Damian Lawrence, National Deputy Leader of the People's Labour Party, Ms. Wendy Phipps, National Chairperson of the People's Labour Party, Mr. Calvin Pemberton, Chairperson of Constituency Number 1, Mr. Marlon Brown, Chairperson of Constituency 3, and my co-host this evening, Mr. Aquan Julius, Acting Chairperson for Constituency 4, Mr. Kevin Mills, Chairperson for Constituency 6, Mr. Morris Matthew, Chairperson for Constituency 7, ambassadors, members of the National Executive of the People's Labour Party, brothers and sisters, friends, supporters, and every concerned citizen of our beloved federation, good evening. Welcome to the People's Labour Party series of town hall meetings convened under one urgent and unmistakable banner, the People's Rescue Mission to save our St. Kitts and Nevis. It's happening right here in constituency number 1, East Bastille. Tonight is not about politics as usual. Tonight is about country. Tonight is about the rescue. We gather here because our nation is facing serious challenges that can no longer be ignored. This is a rescue mission to save our St. Kitts and Nevis from worsening health care, where too many families are anxious to get access to quality and basic services. It is a rescue mission to save our people from rampant victimization, fear, and unfair treatment. It is a rescue mission to save our country from immature, childish, and incompetent leadership that has failed to inspire confidence or deliver stability. This is also a people's rescue mission to save our St. Kitts and Nevis from fiscal irresponsibility, unprecedented and excessive travel, poor decision-making, and incompetent governance. Tonight, your voice matters, your concern matters, your solutions matter. We are happy to have you here with us and those listening via the internet and radio. Thank you for being with us. Remember, this is the people's mission to save our St. Kitts and Nevis.
And we all heard it there from Ms. Cheryl Reed. Can we give her another round of applause, please? Tonight I bring greetings from West Bastille. Greetings from West Bastille. As we continue our series of town hall meetings, I would like to make it unequivocally clear that we must save our St. Kitts and Nevis. I use the adjective tight because we are now in a tight voice grip by the Labour Party. And for that, we have to save our St. Kitts and Nevis. Small businesses are crying out. There is no relief for small businesses. It appears like small businesses is under personal attack. We need to save our St. Kitts and Nevis. When a decision like boys can go to school with their hair plait, it becomes the rule when that becomes the rule, we do understand that we are under a threat. The impact of this rule has not only destabilized our financial economy when it comes to the barber, but because they are already competing with the immigrants, we have to be so careful what we do. Patronizing our barbershops, this creates an economic disadvantage to our people who operate in this sector of small business. When government make laws and rules, they should not be to the disadvantage of the people. We need to save our St. Kitts and Nevis. Our small businesses are dying out. There is no financial support or tax incentive for our mama and papa shops. Instead, they are taxed at full capacity. When attempt is made to get goods from abroad, we need to save our St. Kitts and Nevis. When we look at the STEP program, which has benefited both small businesses and individual workers, it is clear to see that under the Harris-led administration, people were placed first. This is why we need to save our St. Kitts and Nevis and return Dr. Harris and his team back to office. We have to save our St. Kitts and Nevis. I would like to now introduce Mr. Calvin Pemberton, chairperson for number 1.
Excuse me, I would like to acknowledge our chairperson for number 2, Ms. Vicky Pickering. We have a statement from a concerned citizen who wishes for us to speak on his behalf, and I quote, "I would like you to mention that the government has no regard and concern about the people who get Social Security, and they are not considered pensioners, and therefore we are not considered for nothing as a Christmas bonus. We are discarded, and there is nothing to make us enjoy a joyful Christmas. If we are not considered pensioners, please, Dr. Drew, please let me know what are we considered, and when would we ever be considered suitable for some kind of bonus or increase? Prime Minister, sir, please have a heart and consider that this is Christmas and ask the authorities of the Social Security Board to work out a plan and give everyone a bonus. Please consider, as you know, that persons who voted for you are in the category who needs a bonus and would suggest persons receiving Social Security should be considered for some kind of Christmas bonus. Thank you so much, an irate and upset senior citizen." End quote. Now we will invite to the podium our presenters for this evening, and we will kickstart with our chairman for constituency number 1, Mr. Calvin Pemberton.
Pleasant good evening to all. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Let me, in my own way, take this opportunity to welcome all of you who have gathered here this evening. We are well aware that there are many other places where you could have been. And we are grateful and thankful that you have seen it fit and chosen to be here with us this evening as we embark upon the rescue mission to save our St. Kitts and Nevis. I thank you for coming. Those persons who are in constituency number 1 will recall that when we came here in November of last year, we did indicate that we would listen to you and have our listening tour and put what you would have said to us into our policy framework. So I thank you for being here, and please be assured that constituency number 1 has been doing its work. We have been walking through the highways and the byways. We have completed quite a number of the various communities, and there are many more that we need to visit. We ask for your patience and to assure you that the PLP team is alive and well and that we are on our way. In time, we will visit the other communities which we have not yet touched. Thank you very much. Let me acknowledge our co-chairs, Cheryl Reed Nisbet and Marlon Brown. I rise to make my presentation to this gathering of the people of this country. As promised, the rescue mission to save our St. Kitts and Nevis continues. PLP is demonstrating that it is a party that will keep its promises and will soon to become the government. By now, most of us, far and near, would have recognized and concluded that the distress signal sent today, as reflected in the Dr. Jew drive-by government, the budget adjusts. It is appalling. It is alarming and a cause for concern. While Dr. Jew would have attempted to lay out an optimistic budget agenda, we have come to understand that it is nothing more than continued empty talk, full of repetition and promises, which year after year have failed to materialize. Therefore, we must rescue St. Kitts and Nevis from the underperforming and non-performing government. I say this because we have heard what he has said before, with no success to show. How many times have we heard about the same groundbreaking, game-changing projects, but nothing is being realized? This is their record. First was the MRI machine. In a couple of weeks, he said, it will be installed, still to come. Then the attempted Robert Bratcher Museum, which he claimed would be fixed up. We'll fix it up by independence, 2022. We are fast approaching the year 2026. An abrupt stop, shady explanation given. Water availability, still elusive. Smart hospital, still today not started. East House housing development, 2,400 smart homes, 600 per year. There are only records that 2 has been built thus far. Failed project. Now we are hearing that the matter is at the High Court. What a record. Water availability. The new Bastia High School, nowhere to be seen. Solar farm, nothing. Geothermal energy, nothing since 2004, still no production. The new judicial complex, nothing, but we are hearing about plans to buy private property. The Tabasco pepper farm, nothing happening, but the waste of public money. The miracle marijuana, remember they told us money will be growing on trees, and they could not understand what is taking us so long. We too want to know what is taking us so long. Nothing happening except money in the pockets of the board members. The 25 by 25 agriculture agenda, that's a dead note, a total failure. And lately, we have been hearing about the New Guinea Marina development, which was started by Reginald Francis, now to be turned into foreign hands. Can you believe that? That is how this Jew jive by government is treating our local son of the soils. They have no use for us. All have failed to launch. We have those broken promises. What have those broken promises told us? They have told us that the Dr. Jew jive by government has demonstrated that they are incompetent and not up to the job that we have given to them. But instead, they have administered over the Christoph Harbour Marina sales, the Fort Thomas ground sales, the Ritz-Carlton development, and the Destiny development debacle. Please recall that we were told that foreign investors were waiting for a change from the unity government to a Labour government. Therefore, are we not to conclude that the foreign investors Dr. Jew was speaking about were the Fort Thomas developers, the Ritz-Carlton developers, the New Guinea development, and the Destiny development? But they all seem to be relying on the CBI shares to construct their project, rather than bringing their own money into this country and into the economy. In order to facilitate a most troubling, vexing, and consequential Destiny project, the SSZ Act has to be passed hurriedly, without proper consultation, or with no consultation at all. If you don't believe me, you can ask the Bar Association. You can ask the Chamber of Industry and Commerce. You can ask K.C. Charles Wilkins. You can ask Mr. Melvin Edwards, and others. However, I say to you, to us all, to prevent us from becoming second-class citizens, we must rescue St. Kitts and Nevis by voting PLP. Likewise, much need to be asked about the historic Fort Thomas grounds, proposed transformation into a monument and museum. But museum for who and for what? The developers calls it a symbol of love. A symbol for who? What was once a fortification, a burial ground, and a symbolic site for ceremonies and authentic, diverse development activities is now becoming transformed into a mausoleum without consultation and planning approval. Let us therefore, my people, rescue our St. Kitts and Nevis. Let us also think about importing foreign culture and influences into a predominantly Christian society. The following question must be asked and answered by Dr. Jew government. What are the terms of the development agreement with the developer of the proposed Fort Thomas Hotel? Fort Thomas property, we do not yet know. What types of economic and employment activities are to be derived from the project? Will there be non-nationals or will there be local Kittitians? What are the benefits of such a development to the people of this country? What is the purpose of putting a mausoleum on top of a burial site? What is the significance of the reconfigured site and building structures? What are our visitors expected to experience when they go to the museum? Are they coming to see a foreign mausoleum? Are they coming to purchase replica of the Taj Mahal, or will they be purchasing local replicas? If local replicas, where will they be made? And who will be making them? And what type of refreshments, foods and drinks, etc., will they be selling? In other words, will it be about us or about them? I think that is critically important. We need to know. We have not been told anything, no transparency. We have more questions than answers. We need to rescue our St. Kitts and Nevis from this travesty. But alas, the time is now for us to usher in the change we so desperately need and deserve in order to save our St. Kitts and Nevis from the Dr. Jew failed government, which has no vision and don't know where it is going. Our country deserves better. Let's bring back PLP. A Timothy Harris-led PLP government will present to you, the people of this country, a vision for a successful future of St. Kitts and Nevis. The revitalization of Newtown and Irish Town, one which speaks to the promotion of local small entrepreneurs playing a role in our growth and development. From 5 ways in the west, along the corridors of Fort Thomas Road, Liverpool Road, South Independence Square, into George Street, to Ponce Pasture in the east and beyond. This corridor can be described as the heartbeat of the communities once ago. Every corner had a vibes, and every elder had a say. Today, we experience despair and disillusion. PLP, I say to you, can restore vibrancy and dignity to urban and rural areas. In fact, to every place. PLP recognizes the despair, and we intend to address your circumstances. Both communities have strong spirit and will fight to protect your rights. We will rise. PLP will protect, revitalize, provide access, introduce a paradigm shift, engage, provide leadership, build capacity, and make financing available to our local people. Never before. You deserve better. Join us in rescuing our St. Kitts and Nevis. PLP is in the process of developing the framework for the right solution to be delivered. And there, PLP will foster private-public partnership and will ensure that small business enterprise will prosper. Utilize our ambassadors and trade at Chatty to facilitate goods and services opportunities. Introduce policies to assist in the upgrading of small enterprises. Extend the reduced VAT program to small businesses. I think that deserves a round of applause. They have been crying out for that for some time. Enhance and create safe street corridors, hardscape, lighting, etc. Improvements. Upgrade the Amina Market at Port Zante and our ferry terminal. Address the dilapidated SSMC compound. Enhance and regularize the agro strip. Those, among other areas, will be part of our policy agenda moving forward. As part of our broad agenda, PLP will address the following: education reform, urban planning, employment, labor laws reform, youth development, cultural presentation, diaspora inclusion, science and technology, housing, social services, healthcare, and others. So that means when you choose PLP, you help to save the country from the disappointment we now experience. The Dr. Joe government has taken us in the wrong direction and is not being able to course correct. And we must change Dr. Joe and change the wrong direction we are galloping in. We all have experienced the hardship, deceit, and disappointment. Let us rescue St. Kitts and Nevis from the untrustworthy government. Dr. Joe and his government has kept us in the dark for too long, and we must save our St. Kitts and Nevis and get rid of them. I say to you, those of you who are present here this evening and those who are listening via various medium, only a Harris-led PLP government can turn our fortunes around quickly and competently. So I ask again, give PLP a chance so that we may realize our hopes and our aspirations. Give PLP a chance to bring meaningful development to our country, not just development for libertarians, but by locals and persons from our region. Long live PLP. Save our St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you very much and good night. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much, Calvin. Newtown, 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 we are on the list when the People's Labour Party takes office. We are well on our way, and we are reminding our viewers online that this is the People's Labour Party series town hall meetings under the theme Rescue Mission to save our St. Kitts and Nevis. Our rescue mission is now. Next, we will have another presenter, our Deputy National Leader, Mr. Damian Lawrence.
Good evening. I left Irish Town earlier to make my way to Newtown, and I feel the same. I feel like I'm amongst friends. I feel like I'm amongst family! PLP family! Every day with a bad government is a heavy feeling. But every day with a bad government in December, when you're supposed to feel a little good, when you're supposed to feel a little relief, a little hope, a little dignity because you got some money, every day with a bad government in December is torture. Every day with a bad government at this time of year is torture. And if we are serious about ending that torture, we have to get serious about one thing: saving St. Kitts and Nevis by voting PLP. Let there be no confusion about it. We are in the 4th year of an administration that said they are experts. An administration that campaigned on the idea it would be better with them. The Federation now understands it's better for them. Better for them and their friends as they waste our resources and further dig us into a debt bomb. These are situations that our grandkids are going to suffer from. These are bad decisions that our tomorrow will be made harder as a result. This government has mastered excitement without execution, announcement without achievement, promises without performance. It is the abracadabra politics. Abracadabra politics. Now you hear about it, no you don't. They told us about $1,500 PAP. Abracadabra. Now you hear about it, and now we gone. And it never happened. They told us about the Batch Museum to be completed in a few months. Abracadabra. Now you hear about it, no you don't. They told us about the Indigo Hotel. Remember over behind Bird Rock? They had a nice picture, all of them with some pretty shovel. Coming soon, Indigo Luxury Hotel, abracadabra. Now you hear about it? No, you don't. Ritz-Carlton Hotel was announced in last year's budget by Drew. He said we will have the luxury resort, the brand Ritz-Carlton in St. Kitts in 2025. Abracadabra. Now you hear about it? No, you don't. They told us about the MRI in a few weeks. Abracadabra. Now you hear about it? No, you don't. They told us about the solar farm to deliver cheaper electricity. Abracadabra. They told us about Skellig and $1,000 relief. Abracadabra. Abracadabra. Now you hear about it? Poof, your light's gone. 2,400 homes. Abracadabra. Now you hear about it? Now you're in courts. This is the magic. This is not the magic our people want. This is not the magic our children deserve. And this type of illusion is what we must save our St. Kitts and Nevis from. Let us be clear. To routinely excite the masses and fail repeatedly is not incompetence alone. It is indifference. It is indicative that they don't care. It reveals a group of self-serving, undeserving, and disconnected people, disconnected government. But compare the experiences. There was a time when stability was normal, a time when planning mattered, a time when respect for workers and families was the norm. There was a time when the nation waited each December, not begging, but confident in what had become a norm, the double salary. Today, our Prime Minister, Dr. Drew, took 5 hours to talk about 4 things and then announced what everyone was waiting for, the double salary that Dr. Harris demanded he pay. Now we're in a time of reversal. Foreigners are pressure bus pipe. Foreigners are told, take as much land as you want. Special privileges for you. Middlemen are now empowered. Meanwhile, our people are told, accept less. Smaller lots, smaller homes, and all of it for sustainability purpose. Yet this very government decided to make a bill to serve the foreign interest with the word sustainability included in the name of the bill, giving foreign interest no limits. So for us here, take that little piece. For the man from abroad, take as much as you want. What does that say about the people we have governing this country? They have to go, and we have to save our St. Kitts and Nevis. What they're doing is not sustainability. It's indifference. It's displacement, and it is disrespect. A few weeks ago, very disrespectful as Chocolate would say, just a few weeks ago, I attended church service to recognize and celebrate 32 years of parliamentarian service of Dr. Harris. A good 32, a good 32. And I think the longest standing member of parliament. The pastor rightly said, God is supreme. God is all-knowing, and God can do all things. We agree wholeheartedly. But history shows that, yes, Dr. Harris is not our God, but he is God sent. A man made for a moment like this. When our people once faced the possibility of being stripped of our lands, it was Dr. Harris who said, for this cause, if I perish, let me perish. If I perish, let me perish. And today he stands ready for that fight again. That is leadership. That is sacrifice. That is courage. And that is lion heart. Yet today, while 400 acres were returned to Buddy Darby, who owes millions, our people are fighting to keep their small pieces of land. How does a foreign man who owes millions keep what should have been returned to our people and have our Prime Minister say, I'm not upset with Buddy Darby, he get a good deal. Returns 400 acres of land to Buddy Darby, while having a PS and a ministry target people who got their opportunity under the previous administration for no good reason other than we want to give someone else. It is something we must stand up against. It is something we must take legal action against. And it is something we must understand. It is not responsible, it is not decent, and it is not right. Let us save our St. Kitts and Nevis. If leaders cannot serve our purpose, they cannot be our leaders. And yes, we must also speak truth of ourselves. We are not blameless. A government can only be disrespectful to a people who allows it. When Jew said this,
St. Kitts and Nevis, whether you believe it or not, can be bought. It is not too expensive for a rich person to buy an election in St. Kitts and Nevis. This election has proven that.
Dr. Drew said, an election can be bought easily. Was Dr. Drew conditioning us for these last-minute efforts? Will we fall for these last-minute efforts? I say no. We are reasonable people. We are observant people. We are a deserving people. And the last-minute gesture to pay a double salary is a strong indication to take the gifts, but vote with this. Vote with the honest, lived experience you've had for 3 years of a failing government, taking every opportunity to make your life hard, and decide that you're going to vote to save St. Kitts and Nevis by voting PLP. Perform or you're gone. That is our standard. Well, already. Perform or you're gone. So let us return to the competent hands. Let us return to proven leadership, a man who has worked successfully in every ministry of government in Dr. Harris. Let us commit ourselves to the urgent work of saving St. Kitts and Nevis, because that mission, that rescue, that future begins with a clear action. Vote PLP. I invite all of Central, all of East, all of West, all of North, and all of South to come together in unity of purpose. We choose proven leadership over failed expertise. We stand united in saving our St. Kitts and Nevis. The work is clear, the choice is clear, the future is ours. Let us save St. Kitts and Nevis by voting PLP. Good night.
There you have it from our Deputy National Leader, Mr. Damian Lawrence. Usually a hard hitter. I wonder what would have happened if our panel were actually experts. Because our government has experts. And we are yet to see the work of experts. Moving right along, as we embark upon saving our St. Kitts and Nevis, we will now hear from our third presenter, our chairperson of the People's Labour Party and the former Minister of Health et al., Miss Wendy Phipps.
Good evening, people of Constituency 1. Good evening. Good evening, PLP family. Good evening. Now, before I go further, I need to acknowledge the presence of our head table. Cheryl has done an excellent job this evening, but I just want to do so again, especially to acknowledge our host chairperson, Mr. Calvin Pemberton, for Constituency 1. And Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, our national political leader. Now, I recognize in our midst a number of persons of Dominican origin. So to you I say, buenas noches a la gente dominicano del este de Basseterre. Now, we've had 3 speakers here this evening already. You have heard from Calvin Pemberton, who did an excellent job speaking about developmental issues, matters to do with the SSZ, what becomes of our land, our landmarks, the issue of national consultation, which shows respect for the people of this country, prudence in terms of development decisions, etc. You have also heard from Mr. Damian Lawrence, the Deputy Party leader. And I don't need to repeat what Damian said because he came up and he came strong with the wrecking ball tonight, as I expected. Tonight, though, however, my task is a little more simple than that. And that is that I wanted to speak to you briefly on 2 things that are dear to my heart. Yes, we recognize that on Church Street we have a government that is not competent. We also recognize that that government took office in August of 2022 by default, because Team Unity imploded. In other words, Team Unity did not show up at the polls. So that facilitated a default in the government that we have. So let us start this with that premise. We also recognize that these people were not ready to govern. And the evidence is true every single day. For the last 3 years, it's now nearly 3.5, we have seen the examples of that. We have seen the high-flying travel club. We have seen the big per diem. We have seen the immediate 35% increase in salaries they awarded themselves without earning it, without showing us that they deserve it. We have seen the reduction in the poverty alleviation, $500 a month allowance per household, after promising $1,500, but then cutting it down to $250, which is the highest of all insults. We have also seen the drawback in terms of our social services network and infrastructure that we put in place, which took years to build. As I say this, I'm looking at Mr. Osbert D'Souza in the audience, because I had the pleasure of working with Mr. D'Souza while he was at social services, And while we were together on the Basic Needs Trust Fund of the Caribbean Development Bank. And that BNTF Trust Fund essentially was put in place across CARICOM to respond to the needs of the people of CARICOM, especially those persons who were marginalized, those persons who felt like they were on the fringes of the society. The monies were to be spent on education, infrastructure, taking you out of a situation where even if you live in a back house through the alley, as we sometimes say, that alley was paved. Meaning that if you accessed a government building, you had the ability in your wheelchair to get up a ramp that didn't cost more than maybe $1,000 to put in place. Okay, so we would have had the opportunity to understand where the hurt was and where the needs were to respond to those hurts. Now, when we took office in February of 2015, we found the health sector in a mess. Social services wasn't much better off, but it was improving largely because of the types of individuals we had working in that sector, just like in the health sector. Because we have to acknowledge that even though we may have bad social services here and there, including healthcare, for the most part, the people who work in healthcare and in social services are dedicated people. Where I have a difficulty is the people who are leading them or failing to lead them. That is my problem, okay? Now, when we took office in 2015, I inherited a situation where, in an average year, the most that was spent every year when the budget was presented in Parliament on the Ministry of Health was no more than about, let's say, $44 million. Now, when you have that $44 million to pay salaries, to maintain 3 hospitals, namely JNF, Pogson, Mary Charles, to buy pharmaceuticals, etc., and at the same time to make sure that there is something put aside for the upkeep of the buildings, etc., it really doesn't leave you much help because healthcare is not cheap. And we set about a mission that I can safely say that thanks to the leadership of Dr. Harris, what we went in and found as a health budget of, let's say, about 44 million, in that first year, if my memory is correct, Dr. Harris, we allocated a whopping $62 million to health. And that came by the recognition that we had to respond to the needs of our people. I heard Dr. Drew in Parliament talk today about data and the importance of data as you develop healthcare. He's not talking anything new. Anybody, from the man sweeping the drain to the social scientist sitting in CFBC knows that data drives policy. If you don't make policy decisions based on good data, you throw good money after bad money. So that really is a nothing burger, as some people would say. Now, we went into office and we recognized that 84% of our deaths were due to non-communicable diseases, largely due to our history, coming out of a slave past. We have a situation where our diets were not necessarily the best. While the planter class ate the best steaks and so forth, while we cooked them, you had to relegate yourself to the pigtail and the pig foot and the pig head and everything else. And over time, these choices, you pay for them in generational pass on. So because of that, we decided on several things. One, we needed to put cancer care as a focus. Hence the reason in 2016, we built the oncology unit. We also recognized that when it comes to mental health, that too is considered by PAHO and the WHO as also a non-communicable disease. You see how much crazy people we have walking up and down the place still. We have a lot of young people who are like that. And we chose to go further than what was in place in terms of the mental health wing, the psychiatric wing at JNF, which was never really meant to be the psychiatric wing. It was meant to be temporary. And we decided to end the situation of creating a revolving door where you would have somebody go in the psychiatric unit, they get brought into care, you put them on the antipsychotic drugs, You give them some counseling and you send them back out. And then the slightest trigger and they're back inside again. So that was the reason for the mental health treatment center. I had the privilege of working with Mr. D'Souza on that as well. And one of these days, Mr. D'Souza, we have to tell the people of St. Kitts and Nevis the history behind that mental health treatment center that we almost lost. Okay? It still has another phase to go to it in terms of a halfway house approach. We also have a situation where we would have had to enhance kidney care. We went in, we met a situation with a hemodialysis unit. There were barely 2.5 machines. By the time we did the audit again, using data from the health centers, etc., you had a situation where something like about maybe 40-something persons needed care. And for an average session lasting 3 to 4 hours for hemodialysis, you realize those nurses weren't going home when night come. That unit would almost be open 24 hours. So we invested heavily in that. We even actually bought a more expensive unit, which was a mobile unit, to be used in the surgical theater for persons who are suffering from chronic kidney disease, being able to get their surgeries and not have kidney failure as a result of the sheer stress of going through a surgery. Now, let us move on briefly to social services. I don't know how many of you were listening when we had the meeting in Atlas a couple of weeks ago. I think it was somewhere in November. I'm trying to remember if it's the 20-something? Right, of November. And we spoke about social services and the voucher program that we had in place where people will get money to go to a shop to get your groceries, etc. And that was unsatisfactory to us because the system that was in place called MEND was a system that was so onerous and punitive where you wanted to know people's business right down to the nitty-gritty. And then unfortunately, in the way I started this conversation, we had certain people working in that ministry who were not fit to deal with the public, especially public needs being done by Kittitians and divisions to other Kittitians and divisions who are already poor. Because it is not our job to make people feel, as they say, less than. But we had that going on in the one place where it shouldn't happen. And that's why the poverty alleviation program came into play. Okay? Now, between 2020 to August and now, I'm pretty certain that if we were to follow the data again, we would recognize that there are far more people now who fit the category of the working poor than there were in August 2022 because things have gotten harder. Okay? You have cut people's support from 500 to 250 after you promised them 1,500. Some people get nothing at all. Other people who should have clearly stayed on, you took off unceremoniously, you put on who you wanted. And obviously, there is no rhyme or reason to it. And these are things that need addressing. And it is particularly so for us when we recognize that more than 50% of our households are headed by single females, single mothers, who relied on that type of support. Then you add subsequently to that now, we've had the closure of Newtown, the closure of Cajola Cristada. The only 2 factories that are open now are Harrow in Sandy Point, and we have to big up Harrow. They've been here since 1974. And do the same when it comes to Jarrow, because they've been here since around 1986. And thank God that they have the sticking power to provide that stability that is required to those workers and to maintain families. But we got to do much better than that. We have to do much better than that. We noticed that the government is getting ready to build a new hospital, and that too I find to be laughable at times. Because if we look at the manifesto for the Team Unity administration going back to 2020, you would recognize the new hospital was right inside there. And for those of you who were paying attention and would have discovered afterwards, the same site where they put in the new hospital was the site already identified by Team Unity. Okay? So when we look at all these things, we realize, are we really better off now? Or are we taking 2 steps backward? And if that is the case, then it begs the question we really need to save our St. Kitts and Nevis. Now, we are grateful that the new hospital is proceeding, and we trust that it is done properly. We also trust that the rules of public procurement are followed, so that the contractor, the main contractor, who we understand to be of Taiwanese origin, but then we're not surprised because Taiwan is paying the bill for it and we have to pay it back. We are trusting that our local contractors get an opportunity to bid on part of the works, because then how could that benefit us? We are also trusting that resilience goes into it. Today we heard from Dr. Drew about, we're building the hospital to make sure that it can withstand a hurricane category 5. Well, big bloody deal. I would imagine that any infrastructure that is built in this country should be done with the fact that we are in a disaster-prone area in mind. Okay? But at the same time, you have 3 hospitals already you can manage, but you're building a 4th one. And hospitals don't spring up like mushrooms overnight. They take years to build. So in the meantime, you have to fix what you have now and save our St. Kitts and Nevis. Inside of the social services argument is the whole issue of elder care. As we go back to facilities again, the Cardin home is bursting at the seams. I keep saying that every chance I get because it is true. The place was designed for not more than maybe about 50-something people. To the best of my knowledge, you probably have over 80 people inside there. And that is one of the things that our Team Unity cabinet looked at, that when you eventually move out the hospital, what would be the next purpose for JNF? And it included the following: perhaps maybe relocating the Cardin home people there, because you have more space now. You're going to have all that kitchen space to do large catering jobs, etc. We would have also learned from COVID in terms of the need to have quarantine, not just for COVID, but there will be another pandemic. It's not a matter of if, it's when, so that you can respond to those types of health emergencies. And at the same time, you need a place for diagnostics. So that it brings me to another issue. We want to see the opening of the MRI facility, which is on the way still. To the best of my knowledge, it's being built there. But then again, you have to shing out that money again in the new facility down below. So the question is, what type of best use are we going to put JNF to? And what are we going to do in the meantime in terms of addressing stockouts, avoidable deaths, higher than normal infection rates, the closure of Mary Child's pharmacy, the almost permanent closure of the one in Sandy Point, and so forth, because there are lots of issues that need fixing. But from where we sit, as I said before, it is not the rank and file of the workers we blame for that. It is poor management. And again, that's the reason we need to step in and save our St. Kitts and Nevis. Now, one of the issues that I would hope that the government is considering with the new hospital, and I'd close off with this, when we are busy building it, because I haven't seen the plans, okay, I've heard talk about the plans, I am hoping that we are also including a facility for airlift, emergency airlift, like a helipad. Because if you have an emergency in Nevis that needs more specialized care down here, you don't want to rock up that poor patient on one of the water taxis from Nevis. So if there is an opportunity for a private sector person to bid and get the job to provide a medevac helicopter-driven service, even in St. Kitts and Nevis, like I saw that accident at Otley's, heaven forbid, this morning. If we had a helicopter, a helipad medevac system, you could have just as quickly gotten that person up and down on the roof for JNF. And that helps too when you're dealing with air ambulance transfers. So these are some of the things that we have to build into the decisions that we make. Now, at the end, I'm going to close now. But one of the things that I want us to at least focus on at the same time is that we are here in the juncture that we are in because of choices. We have a government that wasn't ready to govern at all. They're in office, they're bungling their way, but they're made up of experts. Well, heaven forbid if there were no experts there, we would be worse off. But then I close on this note that elections have consequences. And unfortunately, special interests in our former administration for Team Unity had things other than love of country as their priorities, and the government imploded. And that provided a default opportunity for the show that we have now, okay? But then it brings us to the point that because elections have consequences, when the time comes, and I gather it's sooner rather than later, we need to remember that because elections have consequences, we need to vote for your children, vote for your future, vote for you as well, that you could live out your days in dignity in this country. And you're also voting to save St. Kitts and Nevis, and doing so by voting for PLP. Thank you.
That was our very intelligent and eloquent chairperson, Miss Wendy Phipps. Well, it was one of these town hall meetings, the one last week in Central Bastille, where our leader pushed for the double salary and someone listened. So that became reality today. Now, you have heard the real solutions to our dwindling health system from Miss Wendy Phipps. Let us hope that they are listening. Our next presenter, leading the charge on the mission to save our St. Kitts and Nevis, is our blessed and esteemed National Party leader, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris. Standing ovation, please.
For a better life for all of we. Bring back PLP. Bring back double salary. Bring back PLP. I said give me Harris again, cause the ones there now. Blessing around and I brought our country to share. Hey! They spend. Bring back PLP. For a better life for all of we. Bring back PLP.
Thank you.
Bring back double salary. Bring back PLP. I said give me Harris again, cause the one.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bring back double salary. Only PLP can truly bring it back. I want to join those before me in thanking all who have come out tonight to be part of this mission of patriotic service, which we have given ourselves to save our beloved country of St. Kitts and Nevis. Give yourselves a round of applause. And thank you for coming out in such wonderful numbers to this session of our Town Hall series. I want to acknowledge also and to thank those persons from far and near who are tuning via social media and radio, and of course, giving support and showing their interest in the task at hand of saving our beloved country. If ever a time our country needed saving, we got the answer today. We got the answer today that Dr. Jew and them, they do not know how to run things in St. Kitts and Nevis, that they are mashing up our country, and that we have to rescue our country from those clueless vagabonds parading themselves in the government who are wreaking havoc in this land that we love. The budget estimates for us were at least a clear signal of why we have adopted the SOS as an important platform for our activities as a political party. Save our St. Kitts and Nevis. SOS, a clear warning and a clear cry to everyone that we are in trouble and our country needs to be rescued. So I want to thank all of you for coming out and for sharing the urgency of this mission. And whether it will be willingly or otherwise, this government will have to go. We are fed up of their incompetence. We are fed up of the nonsense. We are fed up of the arrogance. We are fed up of the corruption. And we, the people, will put an end to it sooner rather than later. They came today to deliver the budget. The budget should be an instrument of public accountability. Bring clearly to the public a clear indication of how our country is running. You listen today, and what they should talk about, they not talk about. In fact, some of the things that they ought to be talking about, they leave it till last. And then you hear them like a stick radio saying the same thing. And our chair for number one made reference to it. All time something you are bring back again. Nothing new. Nothing has been accomplished. Fake promises, broken promises. He wants to bring to life again. And there is no evidence that he has been able to do anything. And I wonder if he's not ashamed of himself. I wonder how he can look back 4 years almost ago when he promised that in 2 weeks the MRI facility will be there. He's a medical doctor. He ought to understand that he can't just say MRI and MRI come. 2 weeks. And he ain't asked any question. Up to today, no MRI come. The MRI is as if he's running away from June. And the whole government is running like that. Say anything, attempt to fool people, hope they will not remember, and then you bring it back up again. It soon come. It has taken too long to come. It is a 5-year mandate that was given to them. They have wasted your time. They have wasted your vote. For the last 4 years, they have been looking after themselves very well. They've gone in their new homes. They have left their private homes and gone into homes paid for by the government, which is you, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. That is why there is no urgency anymore about the delivery of the housing program. They have used you, so they think they have fooled you. And my warning is that time is coming again. Do not let them fool you with promises that they will not keep. You have had the opportunity to see that this government is not for us. They are for themselves. And that is why we have to ensure that we free our country, because we deserve better. And as bad as some of us felt the country is, and everywhere you go it's the same refrain. Businesses are about to close down. the turnover is not there. Business is too slow. The cost of living is too high. They can't afford to pay their workers. They can't afford to pay the high electricity bill. They can't afford to go to the wholesale or retail. Every day the price is moving in a wrong direction. They can't pass it on with added prices because only so much their customers can pay. And many are at the borderline. And it doesn't matter if you are in the hairdressing business, the skincare business, the restaurant, the bars, the rental business. Everybody is telling you that things are tight and the country is not going well. But it's running well for them because they are out more than they are in, taking care of their own businesses, not taking care of the public business. And so the opportunity will come very soon. Very, very soon. Sooner than many of us think. They will come back, I beg you. They will come back trying to make up to you. But it's 4 years of your life they have taken away from you. A 5-year contract. And they spend all this time looking after themselves and ignoring you. But worse yet, look how they have mashed up our country. They have mashed up our country. And when you hear year after year, Dr. Drew has been overspending the public money significantly, you have to ask yourself, well, how come for 2024 he overspent by some $300 million? And you ask yourself where the money be, because you can't see it. The roads in your community are still bad. The public buildings are still run down, full of mold. And talking about mold, look how long the people in Keyon cannot get their postal services back in the community center. It is a shame that their representative is a minister of health. And today in Keyon, the mold problem still lingers. It is a shame that the largest or one of the largest communities in constituency number 8 goes to the smallest community in Atlas Village to say them a come for their mail. We've taken the people backwards. He has no time for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, even his constituency. And you must ask yourself, Keyon people gonna allow you to fool them again? Keys people will allow you to fool them again? Canada people will allow you to fool them again? Canary people, will you allow you to fool you again? St. Peter's people, will you allow him to fool you again? The man is a liar. Call him by his name. He is a liar. And he cannot help himself. He made a song and dance about the health center of St. Peter's. Eugene Hamilton started it. There were some issues with the contractor and public works to sort out. He made an uproar. Now, 4 years after, the problem remains in St. Peter's. He doesn't have time. The elections are coming soon. You have to make up your mind that you don't want to see any one of them. Not one. And somebody asked me the other day, how come with all the wonderful things your government was doing that the people of St. Kitts voted for an inexperienced, incompetent, insecure leader? How come? And now all of them are bald. I am not vexed with anyone for how they voted. You took a decision willingly. You have admitted it has been a mistake, that our country is suffering and under pressure, financial and otherwise. And my appeal tonight is for you to help us rescue our country and put our country to work again for the people. I recollect and recall one day we were having a discussion, Eugene Hamilton and I, and he said at a certain point in the conversation, you know, John Compton had come to St. Kitts for a particular political event. And John Compton, may his soul rest in peace, made the point that developing a country is like filling the bathtub with a spoon. Lana was there, and she remembered. Let's give Lana a round of applause. Her ears are light. Filling the bathtub. I want you to picture the scene. You have a bathtub, a bath pan, or even a pot, and you are trying to fill it up with a spoon, bit by bit, taking effort, sometimes skill. And John Compton said the danger of our democracy is that some damn fool could come and just kick the bathtub over. After all that work, 7 years of progress in our country, we allow a damn fool like you to turn the bathtub of development over. We must say no and rescue our country. You see us operating in government, and they think government easy to do. They ain't got the interest. They ain't got the capacity to learn. They don't have the humility. They don't have the stick-to-itness. They don't have the calm and compassion that Dr. Harris and his warriors were able to exhibit to take our country upwards.
Bring back PLP. I said give me Harris again, cause the ones there now, blessing around and I brought our country to shame. Hey.
Yes, we have brought our country to shame. And we have to now be thinking, knocking on doors, talking to our neighbors and friends, that we have to get rid of them. And there is only one alternative. Thankfully, it is easy. One choice. The People's Labour Party. The party that loves the people. The party that will build St. Kitts again. So that's all may rise.
Now the country down in the red. They in the sky most of the time and position.
Yes. Running a country has to be done skillfully. You can't get bogged down with petty issues. And when you listen to the budget presentation, You have to believe that the leader is a petty man, small-minded, little routine things. As prime minister, you come to the country talking about a school going to be repaired, a bathroom going to be fixed, and leave that to a permanent secretary. Deal with the broad agenda. Wasting 4 or 5 hours. Gaston Brown the other day said his budget address would be no more than 90 minutes. To the point. Let the ministers go into the detail. Let them go into detail of the programs. Well, too bad for them. And so we know that they are not able, and they continue to confuse themselves and to tell lies. Tell lies. Every time Dr. Ju speaks, you know it's a lie. When he says there is training, for example, taking place for police recruit, it is a lie. Right now, at the training school, they have a camp there for young people, no training taking place. I called because I knew there had been tensions between fire and police regarding space and access there. And I was reliably informed, that no training at all happen now. And none will happen for 2026. But Dr. Ju believes in telling lies because he's a dishonest man by nature. And we have a problem. We need honest leadership. You have a country that is heavily in debt. He is the Minister of Finance. You don't hear him telling you, why is it that you could end up with $300 million over expenditure in 1 year? And as if he didn't learn, he did that in 2024, in 2025, he comes back again with another $300 million over expenditure. That no penny help me. That's not 3 cents. That's $300 million over what was approved by the parliament, over the inflows, the revenue that they got from the taxes from the CBI program. Twice. And then he has the gall to tell us. In fact, he was trying to hide it from us. The book that has all those particulars, it was delivered late in breach of the parliamentary rule. And he went to Parliament and did not even apologize. I was abroad, I came, I asked for my documents. Volume 1 not there. So me say, I wonder what game them a play. And I asked, they said they made some errors. Them I tried to correct them. You get the book, if not yesterday, the day before. Those documents are to be with us 3 days. 3 days in advance. And they deliberately hid it. Because you can't fix Parliament and you know you're not ready for the Parliament. They wanted to hide that they are taking us back to the IMF. It was the same pattern under Denzel Douglas. Deficit after deficit until in 2008 he had a little common sense. He said, Dr. Harris, you are trained mind. Take over the Ministry of Finance. And I returned a surplus in 2008 and 2009. And when people start to say, well, Dr. Harris, really good, come 2010, Douglas say, I want it back. And by 2012, we are in the IMF. And it was a terrible experience. Electricity went up 85%. Water doubled. Cost of living went up. He introduced VAT at the highest introductory rate in the region at that particular moment in time. Almost kill us. And I remember he had the gall. He called a town hall meeting in Keynote, community center. And we were there. And he wanted to get the people out to march. They figured they could fool people. And he started to talk. I want you all to come out and march with me against this high electricity bill. I didn't know it was so high. Dr. Douglas, we have a warrior in here tonight in Joan Mitchum, sitting right there. Joan, stand. Joan, stand. Joan, get up. Prime Minister, why you think this year All Fools Day? You talk about we must come march. And you put it up, so you must take it off. Me nah march, no march. The meeting mash up. We need more people like Joan who will speak truth to power and let them know they can't fool you. He thought it was me put up Joan to do that. Me never know what the man gonna say. So I couldn't tell Joan. But that is the level of deception they bring to the management of our country. He told us in 2024 that we could expect a deficit of about $28.5 million. And we end up with a deficit, which means you're spending more than what you have. And you know, if you do that as an individual for too long, you're going to get yourself in trouble. You know, if you do that as a business for too long, your business will close down. Well, how is it we could have a man managing our country, and every year he's coming and he's spending more than what was authorized by the law? In 2025 again, he's telling us that 2026, that the deficit would be $152 million. Wow, you're right. But where the money gone? Because Calvin is right. Where has the money gone? Has the money gone to St. Vincent to build a mansion? Is that where the money gone? Is it that where it is gone? And who is getting joy out of that mansion there? We don't know, but we must ask. Where the money gone? In the good old days, a dynamic politician like Michael Powell would have said, jail in that. Jail in that. $750 million spent without authority. And no Bastia High School. And no MRI. The road's still bad. No new hospital. Well, where the money gone? Where the money gone? And they bring in some old ambulances. Clearly, this is our season to wake up and to take note that the fiscal house, that we as a cabinet, and I as the Minister of Finance, built up to hard work and courage, has been destroyed by those people who are unprepared to do good service for their country. Remember when he went in, he said he had enough to do all that he needs. All that he needs. And then the liar that he is, he changed his tune. Well, I am asking Dr. Jew, where the money gone? For he has no capital project of note to show us. Not no new hospital, not no Barstow High School, not no MRI, nothing. So how that money could have been spent and where? That is why when the person asks me, why you all ain't check out that mansion them a build on at St. Vincent? I said them gone to a point. Who took our money there? Who was the person behind that? The money can't be accounted for. And we are saying, boy, some name a call. But me not call no name tonight until my lawyer tell me. Go with it. And as soon as my lawyer advise me to go with it, I will talk the things, sir. We need to change up things in our country, and we have to demand answers from them. They have been very callous and very disrespectful to us, and they have put people in power who figure they could talk down to us, and it's we money paying for them, and they're out of order, and it is full time we put the pressure on them. It's full time. And so I am encouraging you. Yes, the farmers have been failed. Today I got a WhatsApp from a farmer. He said, would you believe they're talking about $21 million for agriculture and nothing up here? I said, you mean to tell me that again, no feed up there for the animals? He said, not one thing. And then talking to another farmer, the farmer said, yes. He said, boy, I don't know why they don't shut down this department. He said, many of the farmers, especially those in poultry, have lost a lot of their fowls. No compensation. When they can't get the food to eat, it disturbs them. Some of them have died. And the farmers are bearing that loss alone. The PLP will bring justice to the farmers and fishers. Keep your data. Keep your information. And we will build a Justice Act that will deal with these capricious behavior, irresponsible conduct, and ensure that you don't have to bear the burden. When a government is incompetent, the citizens must not suffer. And PLP will ensure that you, the farmers and fishers, do not suffer. You have to help us to help you get rid of this government. Yes, the farm roads need clearing and expanding, and the farmers are bawling. Stop bawling now. Because PLP is on the road. PLP is ready to fight for you. We are inviting you to join this legitimate fight for your own development. Join us.
For a better life for all of we. Bring back PLP. Bring back double salary. Bring back PLP.
We hear from the public servants and government employees. Everybody fed up at this government. And I am saying that is a good start. but you need to do more. You need to get up and stand up for your rights. You need to now begin to come out to the town halls. So I want again to congratulate all of you. We have a packed town hall here in Newtown. Next one that we are going to have, you bring all of your family, all of your friends. Sometimes we have to recognize that it is worth it to fight for what we deserve. Fight for what we deserve. And it is time for us to get on the road. Time for us to get on the road, making demands, defending our democratic right to freedom of movement and speech. And you and I and all of us must work together. The police officers who are complaining, you can't get this, you can't get that, you can't get your overtime on time. It is time to take a stand with the People's Labour Party. The nurses who feel abandoned, it is time for you to sign up as a member of the People's Labour Party. And to all men and women of goodwill, this is your moment. Our country is calling. Calling for you and for me to come together to save it, to rescue it. And we, as brave and noble citizens, must answer the call. And so, yes, I am all about sacrificing for St. Kitts and Nevis. Coming home this weekend, and I'm wrapping up now. A gentleman said, Dr. Harris, you're a scholar. Why do you stay here in St. Kitts when you could have gone anywhere around the world and get a job with your qualification? Canadian trained PhD holder, trained at Cave and at St. Augustine. And I said, I have no urge to go anywhere except in service to my country. And that is why when I had a choice between party and country with the land for debt swap, when Douglas brought the vesting of certain lands to National Bank by stealth, and it pained me because while I was telling my constituents no land there to build homes, Douglas was scheming to get our lands in the hands of people, denying those my constituents. And I told Sam Kanda he could be a truthful witness. We can't stand for this. And we had countless discussion. And when the parliament time come, me I look at Sam maybe I look at me. So me say no, when we gonna start? Because we don't say that we can't support the bill. And me had the courage because God is with me. My name twice in the Bible, 1st and 2nd Timothy. No weapon formed against me can prosper. And I said, Mr. Speaker, I can't support the bill. And I said, I know this will anger many people, but I can't be blinded by political loyalty. I am prepared to say this is a wrong one. And I remember the words of Esther. If I perish, I will perish over this one. I said tonight in a similar vein, if I perish, I will perish fighting for you. If I perish, I will perish fighting against the SSC bill because it is bad. It will create a Jim Jones city in Nevis, and we will not allow it to happen. If everybody talk about it, something should tell you that the bill really bad. And the fact that this government can't eradicate themselves from whatever demand them give them. I heard demand them give them some money. And I asked the person, who all he give? Who all he give? By the next town hall, I'm going to call some names. They have sold us out. They have sold us out. And we have come in defense of St. Kitts and Nevis, in defense of the Guyanese, in defense of the Spanish people who they are harassing, can't get their documents, calling them to secret meeting to bribe them with the promise of their regularization. We will fight against these things. We will bring an end to the absence of transparency, and we will protect our democracy. So thank you one more time. From the bottom of my heart, I say I love you, I respect you, and I will continue to work hard for all of you. God bless you, and thank you.
Harris again, and again, and again, and again. That was our national political leader, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris. Let us remember that we have to bring back PLP to rescue our St. Kitts and Nevis.
They spend, now the country down in the red. They in the sky most of the time and position gone to their head. A bunch of experts in travel.
We have heard from our presenters. We will now move right into our questions and answers, and we have quite a few. Our first question tonight is for our National Deputy Political Leader, Mr. Damian Lawrence. And I quote, Mr. Lawrence, in the past, you made mention that we are renting less power for more money than St. Martin paid for the power upgrades. What is your view given the new prepaid electricity arrangement?
Are there any more questions?
Yes, we have a few questions. One has 4 parts, and that question is for you, Dr. Harris. And I will read this one, and I quote, for 7 consecutive years, from 2015 to 2022, St. Kitts and Nevis' Citizenship by Investment program operated without sustained negative international criticism or heightened external scrutiny. During that period, the program was widely regarded as well-managed, transparent, and delivering record-breaking and unprecedented revenues for the Federation. However, upon assuming office in 2022, Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew publicly and repeatedly lambasted the CBI program, seemingly in an effort to discredit and tarnish the impeccable management record established under your administration. Fast forward to today, the United States has issued a restricted entry list that includes Antigua and Barbuda and Dominica, yet St. Kitts and Nevis remains notably absent. This outcome strongly suggests that the reforms and safeguards implemented since 2015 continue to reflect positively in the eyes of the US and other major international partners. Despite Prime Minister Ju's sustained criticism of the program under your watch, St. Kitts and Nevis's CBI program has avoided negative scrutiny from the EU, the United States, and Canada. Against that backdrop, the following questions arise. 1. How do you interpret the fact that, despite harsh domestic criticism since 2022, the CBI program under your administration has remained clear of EU, US, and Canadian sanctions or adverse findings, while other regional programs have now come under direct scrutiny? Number 2, what is your assessment of the sharp decline in CBI revenue from over EC 600 million in a single year under your administration to approximately EC 120 million this year? And what factors do you believe contributed most significantly to this collapse? Number 3, with CBI revenues now reduced to roughly EC 120 million and with major capital projects such as the new Bastia High School, the Smart Hospital, having been largely projected to rely on CBI financing, how can these projects now be realistically funded without further deepening the deficit or increasing the public debt? And the last question, in hindsight, do you believe the public attacks on the CBI program since 2022 may have undermined investor confidence? And if so, what corrective steps would be necessary to restore credibility, stability, and revenue growth? Those are all the questions, sir.
Thank you for the question. You said prepaid arrangement, right? Cheryl? Prepaid,
yes.
Right. I know the plans for a smart meter upgrade with Skellig, and there's also a meter implementation plan for water as well. So, what I see between those two things are the uncaring nature of the government. As a young boy, I remember Smokey was the one responsible for disconnections in my area. And I remember having to see parents ask for some time to settle outstanding bills. So I was a little boy a long time ago. So from a long time ago, the cost of electricity was a challenge for most people. How do you make priority on restricting access to it and not reducing the cost of it all these years later? So I would say that it points to the government's uncaring nature to make things more expensive and less accessible. And something we have to be serious about and understand that they don't care about us. They went in with selfish reasons, and we have to save ourselves from this. In a nutshell, it just tells us what we already know. They need to go.
Thank you. Very quickly, in relation to the CBI program, it is no surprise that Dr. Ju has mashed it up with the help of the Attorney General, Garth Wilkin, because they started their own negative campaign against the program. And whenever you're out there saying that your program is corrupt, that your program has all kinds of atrocities attached to it, no sensible investor going to come to spend money in a program that is tarnished. And who tarnished it most? Dr. Ju. and all the other people, bad people in the politics, who thought they had something with Timothy Harris to settle. I never sell one share yet, never collected one commission, never had anything to do with the day-to-day operations of the CBI program. Professional people dealt with that. And that is why they started and they brought in Martinez, gave Martinez a contract on about the 13th of November 2023, I think it was, to say they make him a public benefactor. Martinez's job was to discredit Timothy Harris. Well and good, he had nothing on me. So he go and they tell him what to say. And he tell us some of whom told him things. One man told him that I must be get such and such and it is a scam. Well, he said he was going up and down in the US, searching and getting bank account. I mean, I got a bank account in the US. So nothing is there on me, because I never was involved in no hanky-panky. But the sustained negativity on the program made it look bad. And second thing that has put it where it is now in ICU was their so-called efforts at reform. They carry up the price. Dr. Harris said the price too low. How is a price determined? Price is determined between a willing buyer and a willing seller. I can say I am selling my house for $500,000. That's not the price he may sell at. Because somebody may come and say, you live all the way in Tabernacle. We can't pay for that house there. So you have to have a coming together, willing and able people that determine the price. So what that means, if St. Kitts is selling the same product as Antigua, Dominica, and St. Lucia, and there are price differences for the same product, people will take the best buy, unless there are other advantages you could attach to it. So the price then was reflecting what was happening in the regional marketplace. And they never understood that. So God come, let's carry it up to 400,000. By the next month, he had to carry it back down to 200. And it built within the program a sense of unreliability, that the government was confused. You couldn't rely on it, because 1 week you're getting accustomed to a certain price, another week, when the market responded negatively, they brought it back down. And that was a dilemma that they've had with the program. And they basically are incompetent people. They didn't take time to understand it like we did. When we came in 2015, our program was in ICU, I said that. The two most attractive elements of our program then was the visa-free access to the US of A and the visa-free access to Canada. In May 2014, the US Treasury Department, FinCEN, determined that Douglas and them were doing hanky-panky with the program. And they said in their public report, they do not trust Douglas government. And as a result, they put an advisory around the world, warning people about participating in such a program. 6 months later, the Canadian government in November of 2014 came to a similar decision, pull away our visa-free access. And so people begin to look at it and say, well, can't go to the US, can't go to Canada. Let me go to another place where I would have such facilitation. We went in and we had to deal with those dynamics, among other things, in a transparent way. We end up having the strongest due diligence program in the region. Strongest. I went to the U.S. Treasury Department, invited them to come to St. Kitts. Find a fault with our program. Tell me today, I'll get it done by tomorrow. So confident we were. They come and they talk about J.R. Sissy as if J.R. Sissy just come. J.R. Sissy been there a long time, servicing our program. And the rule we had, because the J.R. Sissy is a crime fighting agency, we have all the databases or access to them around the world. So if an applicant commits a crime, especially a serious one, he will be spotted going through these databases. We were the only country then that had determined, once the JRCC raised a concern, we will not approve. That was our policy. So they couldn't find anything wrong there with us. And whenever they asked any questions, they were quickly answered. We gave open, as it were, the whole office for their inspection because it was critical to confidence building. So I would say the government has been the worst. This government has destroyed the program single-handedly. And the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Look, you spoke about the question I put. $600, $700 million you were getting for a program. Yeah. $700 million into a program. And today they told us that they are expecting that in 2024, it went down to 244 million from the high which you just mentioned. Okay? Then they predicted in 2025, because they brought in all kind of people who don't know the program, but they didn't understand what they do not know. 495 million, Dr. Jusse, he will get in 2025. In other words, he will double what was there in 2024. In 2025, they are telling us that they are expecting that they will get $124 million. From 495 down to 124 million. In other words, the more they seem to be doing, the worse they are making the program. It tells you the reform has failed. And this, they are in their fourth year now. In their fourth year. So they must take responsibility for their actions or lack of it. And the program has failed under them. They are projecting that come 2026, they believe that they will be able to get something more. But all their estimates regarding the program have been invalid, have been bogus. So we cannot trust them anymore. So that is the answer. He said we were over-dependent on CBI, but everything they're doing now is CBI. Expansion at RLB Bachelor is CBI. The Barstow High School, this is CBI. They're doing a sports facility, it is CBI. Everything that they're doing. The smart hospital will be loaned from Taiwan and CBI, we are told. The museum that they are making a joke with at Fort Thomas is CBI. The Martinez Hotel, MSR Hotel, was to be financed by CBI. So you see, you can't rely on their word. Over-dependence. But everything now is CBI. Dr. Jew took an ending on this note, but it's important to remind people. He said the prison project was a bad project. Something wrong with it. But how come? And his first mission to the United Nations, 1 month after the elections, he took the principal officer for the company responsible for the construction of the prison with him to New York City. And she get a front seat. She's sitting by Douglas. You understand? Sitting by Douglas. Pictures being taken. But it's a bad project. You can't condemn and condone at the same time. How come Dr. Jew prison project is still ongoing and it was so bad? How come Dr. Jew signed 99% of the citizenship and he said it was a bad project? What kind of man is that? That is a vagabond, a dishonest being who could do that. If it is bad, stop it. If it is bad, why you will sign and give approval for it? If it was so bad, why did he ask the same principal to build the 2,400 homes for him? And she turned him down. Me know what me talk about. Me know. That is how they're doing, playing games with people. And their acts of dishonesty will find them out. Just as Martinez found them out, Martinez went to court to get certain citizenship, and he told us when he began to go through it, he recognized something wrong. All these things were signed by Dr. Jew. Dr. Jew is a dishonest leader and unfit to serve our country. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for so ably addressing that four-part question. We will take 2 more questions from our online platform, and then we will go to our questions from the floor. This question again is for Dr. Harris, and I quote, Dr. Harris, I was made to understand a social security reform is coming next year. Can you explain to the public what this will mean for the country or economy? Does this mean social security deduction will increase, or will the reform be of something else? There are a lot of talks on this, but I would like to hear your views on this. This is from DJ Rankin of Sugar City FM.
I think it's a good question, but I will not get into it now, because we had a budget passed today, and he spoke in passing about social security reform, and nobody understands what he means. You understand? How could that happen in a society with educated people, that the leader comes and says, we're doing this, but he's not explaining and not going to do his work for him tonight? And I will ask Rankin to ask him, what does social security reform means for the ordinary people of St. Kitts and Nevis? Let him answer that question. May I relax myself now? I know what it will mean under a PLP government. I don't know what it will mean under Jew, for Jew himself has not a clue. He just read from his script. He doesn't understand.
Thank you, sir. Respectfully accepted. Our last question from our online platform, and I quote, Dr. Harris, will the People's Labour Party initiate extending its hand of accommodation to the People's Action Movement and the Nevis Reformation Party on a determined rescue mission to rescue St. Kitts and Nevis.
The answer, I think, has been given before. That we have said we are not confining ourselves to party. This is a patriotic battle in which we are engaged. And everyone who could see the reason and the rationale for saving our country, we are welcoming them to come. The PLP is about national service and national development. And we appreciate, irrespective of your color, you can make a contribution to that effort. We invite all who are willing to come. Understand? All who are willing, because this is a national effort. When we ran a government, we were able to work with people with whom we had never worked. I heard Mark saying that, and yet he would admit the best years that they had was under Dr. Harris. The best years. He said it, Alex Streffer said it, Eric said it, Van said it. I could walk with people, me a man of God. Nothing gonna stress me. And so that is the answer. We welcome all because it's not a selfish mission. That is why Lana is here today. When I met Lana, Lana was a strong PAM. Lana is here, a proud orange wearer. And her job is to help bring others like her. When I met Milk's mom had been Joyce. But people know her as Milk's mother. That's how I know her first, Milk's mother. She was a strong PAM, passed down through her bloodline for her mother, working list and so on. She saw the better and superior way of the People's Labour Party. She is here tonight, and we welcome her, her family, friends, and loved ones. And we could go on and on. Yvette used to be a strong PAM. When we met Yvette, cook every dish for them. Eh? Never vote Labour yet. Yvette is here. And right here on my left, Damian Lawrence was a strong PAM, if you know his mother. His mother used to cut iron people for Labour. Damian is here as a deputy leader of our party because we are inclusive. We welcome all. Well, Wendy never used to talk much politics, but people say Wendy was a PAM, but me was so happy to have such a bright, competent, able lady in Wendy as part of the cabinet, and also our chair lady. Everybody is proud of her. We are thinking about our nation, not party. And we are saying, let us come together. And Calvin here on my right was the same way, my good friend. Well, I myself, me a Labour before Jew. Me a Labour before Jew. Brother knows me, brother ain't no Jew. So you see, but we have come together because the task of nation building requires all of us to make a contribution. I think I have demonstrated the point. And our mantra, we welcome all. Are you willing to save St. Kitts and Nevis? Come, we welcome all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. So let us not be blindsided by political loyalty. This is a patriotic SOS to save our St. Kitts and Nevis. This rescue mission is for all of us, the entire Federation. We will now take questions from the floor. The mic is at your immediate right. Let us do so orderly and respectfully, please.
Good night, everybody. Mr. Harris, this is for you. I hear today that you're having a town hall meeting here. I was in Shadwell this morning. But I take my mind off of that. When I take my mind off of that, I was in the bath this afternoon washing my skin, maybe about 6 o'clock. I got sleep early. I can't feel good for the past days. And your brother called me, because he wanted to hear me speak. Dwight Harris, he can't see him back there. He called me, said, John Paul, you ain't going? I said, but you know, right now I feel sick, you know. I just come out the bath, so I'm going to go lie down. About 5 minutes after, he hear me knocking the door. I don't go knock the door. I said, by the way, I'm going to try and make it, because I want to hear PLP. You understand? I want to hear PLP, and I want PLP rise. But I got some serious thing to talk to you about when you don't vote for politicians in this country. Nothing's changing. Because me is a senior citizen. And my children's mother is a senior citizen. She bought, there was this second this month. And she took me to St. Martin, me and she and her daughter. I walk into St. Martin and I present my passport. And I pass freely, both of them. Come back to Sink It now. I had a rough time. I wonder why Kitchen and News I got a rough time come home. Why we got so much laws? Who making all these laws? We don't vote for government and the in office. Is somebody that's making the laws? Me want to know. We can't be politicians them. Somebody behind it. Maybe I only taking name as leaders, but somebody behind the scene. You understand? What they put me into up there, I say I can't do that. I present my passport to them. They take it. The passport got in everything. They tell me I must put my head in a hole like so. Taking me picture. Me is not a drug man. Me is not a gun man. Me is a senior citizen. When I done, they say I must go in on the phone and put in the passport form when I come in. That not happened when I went out. I tell them, well, for me age, me ain't going to no computer. Me don't know about that. I tell them, for me age. So, Mr. Harris, I want, when you get back in office, put something for senior citizens different to that. How much people at we age could go up on that? How much people me age could go up on telephone and computer and put out passport form? I used to write out passport form long ago when I used to travel. Now they changed. Technology changing all over the world, messing up the whole world. You understand? And I walk away from them and I say, I ain't doing that. And my children's mother had a big phone and I say, she ain't doing that neither. A fella come. Before they put that in place and got somebody there who says, senior citizen, come here this line and do that. They got a fella from Monkey Hill named Sailor. They say he's Joe friend. He there with the hand fall up. Oh, John Paul, they can't make no noise when I go to America. I said, me not go America now. And me not go America. I hold me there. You understand? I tell him I hold me be. Me not go America. They get too much roughness. That's not what will happen. Me no more insulting me. Insulting other people because you don't want anything coming to see you might ban something. Because I could have bring one plastic bag, you know. We ban plastic bag where you send Martin is telling. I could have bring home a packer, but me ain't bring home none. They had the dog a sniff out thing around the corner. My voice ain't so good, but I can still talk. He had the dog. Me no mind the guy dog a sniff out because me no had no gun there. Me no had no drugs there. So he could have sniffed out all night. But I talking about going on computer and going on phone. See my phone in my pocket here. This year. I mean changing it. See it here? All I could see it, right? I'm not changing it. My daughter went to England from St. Martin, so she wasn't there. So somebody said to do it. But they support, government supposed to pay somebody for that. Senior citizen mean a lot. Since Joe get in there, he taking senior citizen out enough things. When he paying money, don't social security, and he paying money, he said, senior citizen know that. Elderly people know that. But who prepared all these? Who come here first? When Mr. Harris going to Cairn School, I need sugar working. Better who take over the sugar. And after better take it over, Simmons take up. Then Labour take back up and close the sugar. We want me pension. Me no want boy pay now. When me pension, we pay teacher, we pay police, we pay nurse, the local government. We work with government too, no? Sugar cane people work with government. When me talking it, because nobody want to talk about it. Mr. Harris, try your best. Mr. Harris, try your best. Call people and tell them, bring your mother certificate and let me give you something for the old people. Mr. Harris do that. When nobody think about the old people them, who work in the sugar. Anything paying to sink it. The old people supposed to be in that. Me supposed to be in it. That's the hardest work we ever done to sink it.
Thank you, sir. We have to
move
right along.
That will carry sink it for years.
We understand your
sugar.
cry. Thank you, sir. Are there any more questions from the floor? Page in jam down.
Good night to the people of constituency number 1. And good night to the people of PLP. And good night to the people of unity. Because unity is strength. And that's where we got to carry. PLP with unity in strength. Now, my little input tonight is about what Dr. Harris said tonight, with he and Sam Kanda, when they save our land, in midnight, these men stand up in Parliament for the people of this country. You understand? And you know that the government, the Labour government failed because of all that, and the unity government get in and they was doing well. Everybody said it was doing well. But everybody know this man, this snake in Nebis, is he create everything, and the whole federation know that. Is he create everything. But now the people of this country, especially the young generation will come in. I want them to listen to me tonight, because Dr. Harris and Sam Kanda saved this country from stand up in the house to save the bank, the land them from going to the bank. Because the ordinary man and woman, children, go in the bank, go get piece of land, they don't know where to cast them. You understand? So I just want the young people them to know, up to now young people out there crying, can't get a land because of the situation. So I just want the young people, listen, I ain't in the politics with nobody. I am about my country. And I'm about any government, in any party in government doing well for the country. I stand for that. But for now, I don't see nothing doing under this Labour administration. Just talk, traveling all the time. And the people of this country ain't getting nothing. Especially the ordinary man and woman. Especially the farmers. I like me so. Nothing is doing. So people, when the election time come again, Dr. Harris is the man He done save us and he could save us again. You all have a wonderful night. May God bless the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis.
Thank you, Mr. Politics.
Good night, PLP people. We're stronger than ever. Stronger than ever. I want to say one thing before I get into my little piece. PLP stretching hand to anybody. We always did. Dr. Harris shows that putting people first all the time. And when we was a unit, we see what that do for this country. And people must not be fooled. I want to tell some of them out there, Dr. Harris ain't do nothing, you do him. He don't do a damn thing, you do him. Because none of you could afford to win your seat. Some of you couldn't even manage your ministry, and he going to you. Just like Christina going over Nevis. Are you being ungrateful? So, do the right thing, because I will advise him, do not go to them. They got to come to PLP. Because only he could give them a seat. All of them. He ain't do them a thing, and they do he. From the time I see this man take up team unity and perform and put out the long thing down there and me piece of land, I say, no boy, I can't be ungrateful. I was a PAM for my leave Jenny Woon. And when Timothy put out the big pier down there, I said, no, that's a leader we want in this country. That man has proved himself all the time. All the time. In all the ministries that you on him, he handled them, as he rightly tell us. That in 2008, when Douglas sent us to the IMF, he said, here, sit there, try it off him for slip, and he take it, and bring back water in the country, and put us where we're supposed to be. Dougie take it back, and cast to the IMF, and so it be. We got to vote for PLP. Dr. Harris better than all of them. And we got to put the partisan politics aside and deal with the rescue mission. The country needs saving. We have some serious problems, St. Kitts Nevis people. We cannot afford to go down the road. Now we are hearing just a while ago at the circus when I went to sign in tonight. It's a pity I can't stay here to listen Congress speak tonight. Where the government looking to cut people electricity. And that is a bad thing. You cannot do this at this time. People is struggling in the country. Look at my good friend over there. Can't get a job. Trying a little hustling on George Street and man a fight him. Eh? They cut electricity. I mean, them things is bad. Work out a payment plan like how Ian Patches was doing when he was there as the minister. Work out a plan where the poor people could get some kind of ease. Dr. Harris had the vision to subsidize the electricity and ease us. And you mean, what list Dr. Joe cannot see these things? It shows over the years. When you listen to the people, you will get success. But they ain't doing that. My people are asking we are pleading to you to vote for PLP. Only Dr. Harris could get us out of this, you know. Only that young man there could get us out of this. And I want in a praying that God try to deliver us and let us do the right thing. Because the country needs it. The nation is balling.
Thank you, Jamdan. We would like you to wrap up at this time. Thank you. Ms. Phipps will now address John Paul's question, and then Dr. Harris will expound on the other two statements.
Okay, thank you very much, Cheryl. I think it's more John Paul's concerns because it was less of a question. If I understood John Paul correctly, he was drawing attention to the fact that, well, two things I heard him say. In terms of provisions and safety nets and pension provisions for people who have worked in the sugar industry of St. Kitts and Nevis, given that right now what is happening is that you have a double salary being paid and pensioners are being included, and of course that does not translate into people who are former sugar workers. But nevertheless, they have expenses, they have needs, they have to be able to survive. The other thing I heard John Paul mention was the technological challenges that come with people who are older, people who are on simpler technologies. He cited the example of his phone. I think he held up something like what we call a ghetto razor. For those of you who remember what a ghetto razor was, a simple flip phone. So I think it is something that we would wish to consider so that we have a more inclusive St. Kitts and Nevis, because there's no going back in terms of where we have gotten as a country in terms of the introduction and the use of technology. But we have to bring people along with us and not leave them out. And for example, this very community center that we're in is a place that can be used for continuing education for senior citizens, putting on a simple course to help them understand what a keyboard is, how you understand the basics on a phone, because it might mean the difference between saving your life or saving the life of somebody else if you can use it. But we should not count people out, and this is something that we will be considering going forward in terms of making sure that we have an all-embracing society, because senior citizens, former workers, whatever is the case, we must make room for all of us so that we don't leave people behind. So I think that's the point I wanted to raise.
Thank you, Ms. Phipps. Dr. Harris?
I'm not sure there were other questions. I want to thank Mr. Politics for coming. He had been part of the Unity family, and I am happy that he has come to this town hall. Give him a special hand of welcome. We welcome you and we thank you. And thank you for coming and to show solidarity and support. I also, the other issue that was raised from Jam Down, I want to basically thank him. He has been a stalwart for our country, and he deserves a round of applause. He said it rightly, he doesn't know party, he knows country, and we need more people like him who are prepared to go and to join with others who are for St. Kitts and Nevis. So thank you for being part of our mission to save St. Kitts and Nevis. I want to say that I likened our visa ease to the USA with having a visa-free access, not at the same level that we had enjoyed with Canada, but we were the most visited country within the CARICOM region in terms of accessibility to US visas at the time that we were there. And so it was the ease of facilitation to be able to get there once you had the US visa. Just want to make it clear that not that you just buy your ticket and you go, but you were facilitated in an easy way, because every country, they have like a ranking in terms of how they will treat applicants, from high risk to low risk, and we were among the favored countries, a status that we would always want to enjoy. So just thought I would lend some clarity there.
Thank you, sir. This brings us to the end of our questions, answers, suggestions, and comments. I just want to announce that the People's Labour Party will be putting on its annual gala on January 10th, 2026, and the tickets are available. Contact Gary when you're leaving, or any of the chairpersons of our constituency branches. We will now invite Mr. Howard Richardson, member of constituency number 1 executive, to bring us the closing remarks. A round of applause, please, for Mr. Richardson.
As how we come, I really want to thank him and salute him, how he has been part of the Unity family for many years and gave distinguished service to the Unity agenda. And I feel particularly proud and special that tonight he's standing with the only alternative for a better St. Kitts and Nevis, the People's Labour Party. Give him a special hand of welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Harris, for those very kind words. I appreciate it. First of all, I would like to say that I'm pleased to see this kind of crowd here. I have watched some gatherings, some other parties, and they were dismal in compared to the size of these persons in this room tonight. So it means that we're doing something right. We're getting people interested and motivated. As we came inside and looked at this venue, we know that there was something special, and we could see that some real determined work went into making this presentation in terms of what we're seeing. Very pleasing to the eye. So I would like to thank Gary Thompson and his crew for putting together the venue. And I would like to begin now in terms of what the agenda was, in terms of who spoke. And I would like to thank Mr. Dion Gomes for giving us the strength from God in our proceedings. And he made it clear that without God, we cannot accomplish anything. So grateful to him to invoking that sort of approach to us, that whatever we do, we must put God first. I would like to give special thanks to our chairpersons for these proceedings today, Ms. Cheryl Reed Nisbet, who performed a very good job. And I've seen her go from strength to strength, and she's now a fixture in our meetings. And I believe that she's going to be here for a good while in terms of being a permanent fixture. Thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl also indicated to you that the SOS, the theme, and every time I'm seeing her coming up, she has been stressing that theme, save our St. Kitts and Nevis. So Cheryl, thank you for putting that in our mind frames, that when we leave here, we must be always thinking about that same thing, save our St. Kitts and Nevis. And to save our St. Kitts and Nevis, we need soldiers, right? Once we go, we need to save and we need to march on, so we need to gather all the people that we can get in order for us to fight this fight. So the more we get, the more our army gets stronger. I would like to thank Mr. Marlon Brown, chairperson for constituency number 3. And Marlon made some very insightful comments, especially with small businesses. And he has noted that these are under pressure. So don't listen to all this empty talk. The people on the ground are feeling it, and the small businesses are in fact feeling it at a very high level. So all of us are in the same boat. So don't listen to what the fanfare is
about the economy running good, it ain't running no good. So thank you, Marlon, for bringing those insights. I would like to thank the chairperson for constituency number 1, Mr. Calvin Pemberton. And noting that he stressed on the importance of this kind of what he's seeing, this empty talk and nothing realized, right? And that has been a theme of this Labour government for the last 4 years, pure empty talk. And it's not only Calvin is saying that. As you walk around as PLP supporters, you would recognize that people are saying the same thing to you. Nothing a keep, as Dr. Harris would say. Nothing a keep. Calvin also mentioned the revitalization of constituency number 1, Newtown in particular, and McKnight. And we hope, and I wouldn't say hope, we know that once Calvin puts his plans together in terms of the overall plan for PLP, there's going to be something great that is going to be done in constituency number 1 and in the wider area in terms of Bastair up to McKnight. Right? So Calvin, we know you're going to do good. Keep up the work. I would like to thank our dynamic national deputy political leader, Damian Lawrence, who always comes. Thank you, Damian. You always put fire, and then I'm always hearing talk to things. Bang your mouth. So it means that the banging of the mouth you're doing is great. So keep the banging of the mouth going. The next on the list was, do I have this mic? You guys hear me good, right? Okay. Somehow I'm getting a little bit of a, maybe I'm too close to it. I don't know, but okay. So now we go next to Wendy. Wendy Phipps, our party chairperson, Miss Wendy Phipps. And Wendy has always been one person that I could listen to all day. She speaks very well, and what she says, she cannot lie in terms of what Drew is saying, right? She puts the facts in front of what Drew's lies are. So she uncovers what you call the deceit, and she brings the real facts and figures, not the fake facts and the fake figures. So Wendy, thank you very much for bringing your insights. And we can see where the true champion of health lies, because I hear more in terms of health what I'm hearing here than what I hear in the entire budget address. So Wendy, thank you very much. I'm just trying to make sure that I keep it going in terms of who contributed. So that is why I'm going very slowly, right? Then now we go to Mr. Fireman himself. I listen to a lot of reggae music, and Dr. Harris is akin to what we call Capleton, the fireman. So anybody knows about Capleton, the fireman? That is our political fireman, Dr. Harris. Give him a round of applause, please. And Dr. Harris, I like about Dr. Harris, I am in the financial field, and we could see the signs of the economy going in a certain pathway. And nobody can say that a $300 million deficit is a nice thing, right? This is putting stress on the finances, and as you know, we depend on these finances to keep our social services going, for our salaries to be paid, and all of these things. When you bring that in debt, it compromises a lot of these expenditures. So do not take this very lightly. And it is a trend that is going on into the foreseeable future. So things are going to get worse. So be on guard. Dr. Harris also made some very insightful points about the CBI program. And as we know, under his leadership, the CBI was the best managed it has ever been. So give him a round of applause. So this notch change that they're talking about, this notch change is nothing. The leader that we had before made that a platinum program. And we could depend on that, but now, sadly to say, that we cannot rely on any of these funds to do anything. So all of these things that are derived from these monies are in question. So all of these things like the hospital and all of these other fanciful things, smart this, smart that, you cannot build these things if you don't have the money. So let us see what happens. But the signs are not very good, right? Can I, let me see now, who else I have to thank? Okay, and the last but not least, I must give my appreciation to those who have posed their questions or comments, and I know that people are online listening, and when they see people coming out and asking and engaging, it's a good sign that we are reaching the people, right? So all I'm going to say at the end of today is that it was a very good job done by the persons who, the party chairperson for the chairperson for number one, Mr. Calvin Pemberton and his team. And so give them a round of applause for keeping a wonderful town hall meeting. So as we leave, go out and spread the good word. And I know that we're going to get bigger and bigger. And I must not forget that as a finance person, and who like money, like everybody else in terms of money, what it can do for the party, come out and support our function in January, right? So if you don't have tickets, you have Gary and other persons who make the tickets available to you. So thank you very much, guys. Have a safe, I think there might be some refreshments. There are some refreshments once you finish, then safe journey home. Thank you very much for coming. Save our St. Kitts and Nevis.
Solution needs to be found, so we got to